Start recording. Stop recording. Speech off.
There are many versions of the original Bop It. We are actually going to talk about them today. And we're actually going to compare them to the last known Bop It that had came out. So let's talk about the original Bop It and somewhat other versions. So the original Bop It had came out in 1996. Now, I forgot that I knew that, so thanks for sharing with me, guys. Thanks for telling me. I forgot about Bop It all these years not. Okay, so let me tell you this. My personal experience with Bop It starts back about 6 years ago. Okay. This Bop It right here, the Bop It Show, I've got this about 6 years ago for a certain event, okay, like a certain time. Brand new, in the box. They sold it at stores like at Toys R Us at the time. And they sold the Bop It XT at Walmart. At any Walmart where they had Bop It XT, they sold it, and yeah. So, this is one of the versions of the original, but does not have the same statistics. So the novice mode may simulate the original, but will never come close to the I don't know, like, the monotone voice of the original from 1996. This was released about 12 years later, in 2008. This is the most recent original, next to most recent original Bop It as you can get. On the original, the port, according to someone named Riley in Electronic Games, you can feel a line that separates two halves of the port. Now, I'm not sure what she means by that, but Riley in Electronic Games, if you watch this video, please let me know in the comments what you mean by separating half of the port. Like, let me know what you mean by that. Alright, so, enough with that. On two of the original Bop Its that were released back in the late 90s / early 2000s, which were 1996, 2000, and 2002. The most recognizable Bop It of all the original Bop Its is the original Bop It itself from 1996. There was a carnival ad that showed it. And the narrator goes, "Hey, wanna play a game that's really challenging?" And then kids go, "Like what?" "Like Bop It." That's like, the commercial is like funny. Like, even though I wasn't even born in the 90s, don't even ask, okay? Don't even ask when I was born, because I don't know. I was probably born in, like I don't know. Let's just say I was never born, okay? Let's just say that. And don't start a conversation in the comments asking me. But yes, I did have an encounter with Bop It like 6 years ago. Even before that, I was like somewhere and I found something kind of weird, and it was a Bop It or something. I don't think it was either the Extreme or the Extreme 2, because I got both of them right here. Excuse me, both of them right here. Yeah, both of them right here. I got them right here. And I don't remember the Bop It that I was looking at. Looking like this. Although the spinner's kind of broken on my extreme, but who cares? It's just a Bop It. Who cares? Ugh. Now I did find a Bop It, and it had batteries in it, so maybe it was like there was a Bop It game for the Wii, so maybe that was a controller for that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you know of any other kind of Bop It, like knockoff thingy. Like, I'll kind of describe it to you. It was kind of like, it had the Bop It, like, design button in the middle. And I believe the batteries went in the bottom of it. And the things that came out were kind of like rubber. Like, the things were all rubber. And they were like one little, they're like sticks with like, the commands coming out of it. And I'm not sure if it had just the two or what. I don't know if it was the Extreme 2 or what, because that place I was at, it was somewhere. But yeah, the batteries went into the bottom, and it had no battery cover or batteries on it. It was like kind of weird. But yeah, so back to my conversation. There were the most recognizable Bop It of all the Bop Its thus far throughout 22 years of Bop It, of like, the Bop It games. The original Bop It stands out from 1996 because of the ad that I watched. It was like kind of cool, even though I probably wasn't around for that, but I don't know. But yeah, so the original Bop It, I must say. Now, I haven't gotten the original yet. I'm not even sure if it was that Bop It. I'm not even sure if it was the the blast or the bounce. Well, actually, it was around like 2009 or 10. So I don't know if it was the Extreme. I mean, I got the Extreme. What am I talking about? I got the Extreme and the Extreme 2. Like, I'm not even sure if it was the Extreme or the Extreme 2. It was a long time ago, but I came across a Bop It. I asked someone, what is this? And then they were like, it's a Bop It. I'm like, out of all the Bop Its that are out, I know all of them, but are there any other Bop Its? Like, are there any ones that none of the electronic game community has ever thought of? Like, I know there's the original, the Extreme, the original 2000, the Extreme 2, and the original 2002, and then the Brass Bop It, and then the Bop It Blast, then the Bop It Download, then the Bop It Shout, then the Bop It XT, the Bop It Bounce, I'm sorry, I'm getting out of myself, then the Bop It XT, then the Bop It Smash, then the Bop It Tetris, then the Bop It Beats, then the Bop It Refresh, and then the Bop It Maker. So out of all of those, I've gotten a majority of them. I do not have the original 2000, the original 2002, the Bop It Blast, the Bop It Bounce, the Bop It XT because I broke it. I had it one time, but I broke it. Then the Bop It Beats, But then there's the Bratz Bop It, and I don't want a Bratz Bop It. I'm not really into Bratz. In fact, I'm not even into Bratz at all, because I'm not a brat. I'm not a brat. But you know, do you know how many Bop Its with the battery door on the bottom? Like, you know, like, say this is the Bop It that I found. And it has the circle in the middle. Now, those of you watching later, those of you watching, imagine this. The Bop It that I found, it had the circle. And it had no button on it whatsoever. And it had, like, you know, sticks. Like, pretend this is the one that I found, but it had sticks coming out of it. Whoops, sorry. It had, like, you know, rubber sticks. Like, thin rubber sticks. I'm not talking, like, the arms of the Bop It. I'm talking about the rubber sticks that come out. Like, you know, it had, like, a circle. I think it was kind of like, I think it was like the Extreme 2, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was the Extreme 2, I don't know. But it had a circle, and it had like thin sticks with each command. Like, you know, 4 different, either 2 different sticks or 4, I don't know. But they were like thin rubber sticks, not like the Extreme 2 had the arms, but it had like, I think it had like a pullet, although I don't think it could do anything. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was like a knockoff or, someone help me out here, because I'm trying to find it. I've always, like, I knew about Bop It. Like, here's the thing. I found out about Bop It because I found something that was a Bop It, but then 2 years later, 2 or 3 years later, I had the Bop It shop, and then I learned how to play Bop It, like an actual Bop It. So I'm not sure if the Bop It that I found at that place that I was at, don't even ask, but I think that it had 2, I think it had like 2 commands, I'm not sure. But it was like 2 thin rubber sticks as far as I can remember. And then I'm not even sure if it had 5 things, like 5 objects or something. It's like I'm talking about I never heard of Bop It. It's like I never heard of it in my life. I never did back then, so I do now. Like, seriously, I've been familiar with Bop It, like, ever since about 6 or 7 years ago. Or 8, for that matter. So, do you know of any Bop Its in your whole entire Bop It career? Do you guys know what kind of Bop It you think I'm talking about? Remember, I've said that it had a circle with no button, just a circle. And I think it's, I think the person said it said Bop It on it. And then there were batteries on the, there was no batteries in the bottom, because there was a battery compartment on the bottom of it. So there's like a Bop It, no button whatsoever. It was like the Extreme 2 or the Extreme. I mean, I'm not even sure, but it's like someone took off the whole entire thing and, whoops, sorry. But yeah, it's like it had no button, okay? And we know that there are 2 of them out there already, but those come out after, like 6 years after I found out about it. But it had like a battery cover on the bottom, and it had no button on top. Do you think it is a Wii controller in the shape of a Bop It? because it had no moving parts, no commands that move. Or maybe you can just do a little research. As I said before, no button. This was like in like 6 or 7, 8 years ago. And it had a battery compartment, which means it was electronic, but I don't think it would even work because like I don't even know if it was like an actual Bop It or not, because I think the things like you could rotate them, rotate one of the things on it, you could rotate it. I know what you're trying to. I know what you might be getting at. There's a spin it on a Bop It, but no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about one of the things that the commands are connected to. You can rotate it. Like one of these sticks that I'm talking about that are protruding from the circle, you can rotate. One of the sticks that you can rotate. So that's as far as I can remember. That it had like no button, and I believe it said something along the lines of Bop It. Or maybe someone just converted their own Bop It Extreme 2 into some kind of Bop It. And took out the Bop It button on the bottom side and probably remade the Bop It. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments if you can find out any research about it. I'll do my own research. But yeah. So anyway, way back to what I was talking about. There are 3 different versions of the original Bop It. And I know that. There are 3 versions of the original. Plus the Bop It, the Bratz Bop It, made in 2004. But the main 3 are the 1996, 2000, and the 2002. On the 2000, you can't feel the lines separating the 2 halves of the port according to Rally and Electronic Games. So that's one way you can tell, but what if all of a sudden get a Bop It original and it didn't have that raised line? Well, I mean, I know that would be a 2000 edition, but I secretly do not like the 2000. You know why? It's not because of the jump scares, how easy you have to pull it, or how careful you have to be with the commands. It's just, I like the original of everything. Like Bop It, Simon. Like, as original as possible. Like, I had to get 2 versions of the Extreme 2 in the packaging. One time because my first Extreme 2 broke. Then the second one, I'm wanting a more better curve it. But maybe what I'm talking about is one of the Bop Its that I got already and I don't know about it. But like I said, if I can, there's a battery cover on the bottom of this Bop It shell, but not what I'm talking about. The bottom that I'm talking about is on the bottom of the circle. And it was a full-size Bop It. And it had no button on it. No buttons whatsoever. And the only Bop It I can think of that had no buttons, or the only Bop Its I can think of, are this Bop It, or this Bop It. Or this has a dial on it, and this has a battery cover on the handle right here. And start with the refresher. It has it has it on the Bop It sort of, but part of the, where the circle ends right here, to about right here on the handle, that's where the battery door is. Now, let's go over the Bop Its that are like the one that I'm talking about. The Extreme 2 closely matches what I'm talking about, but, as I said, well, let me give you one thing. The circle was more round, and it didn't really have a speaker as far as I'm concerned. It had no speaker, I don't think. Like I said, it had no button for a bop it. Someone just said it was a bop it, and it had no buttons. And like I said, a battery compartment on the bottom with I think there was what, 3? I think they were AA batteries. Like, I didn't really know about batteries back then. But the battery cover on this bop it is on the side of the circle, not on the circle. Like, not on, like it's on the side of the circle, not on the circle. Like, not on the bottom of the bop it. Okay. And the arms are rubber. But what I'm, like, the pullet is rubber. But what I'm talking about is probably, like, you know, the thing, like, you know, the stick that connects the command. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the only commands I can remember are bop it and pull it. As far as I can remember, those were the commands. And I believe it was about this small, a bit bigger than that. And I believe distinctly it was the same design as the Extreme 2 pull it. And I don't remember it having to spin it or flick it or any working parts. It was just a bop it with no bop it buttons and a battery door on the bottom and no speaker, and all I can remember the commands are, it's just a circle with no button and a pullet that didn't actually do anything. Now I'm not sure if it's the like the original bop it or if it had like a I'm not sure if it had to do with the Wii or what. Like, okay, let's look at the bop it downloads situation. Bop it download. Its battery cover is kind of on the arm right here where the spin it is. And the bop it button, you can press both bop it buttons, twist it and pull it. And like I said, it was a lot thinner. It was, well, almost like a little, either half an inch or a little over or under half an inch around. Then there's the Extreme 2. I mean the Extreme. The battery cover is the same way like it was on the Extreme 2. I don't think it was the Extreme 2. Yeah, my spinach kind of messed up, kind of like rattling. You know what's fine. Games is bop it. Extreme. Now, I believe it was either 2009 or 2010. So which bop its were around then? So let's see. The original, Extreme, Extreme 2, download. I think it just had a battery cover. And I don't think it had like a plug or anything connected to it. So yeah. Talking about bop it.